And so just out of the blue, she hands me the full payment for the full thing, $1,500. And I was like, oh my gosh, it works, it works, it works, it works. And this was my first experience with understanding how vibration and frequency works. All right, everybody, welcome. Welcome back. Super excited to talk with you about something today that's been on my mind and on my heart a lot lately. At the time of this recording, it is January 9th. We are about a week into the new year, and everybody is talking about setting goals, right? That's what we do this time of year, at least in our society. Whoop, this is falling down. And one of the things that I have found to be most helpful when it comes to setting goals is not so much focusing on a specific thing, but focusing on the energy behind it, focusing on the feeling of why you want it. Tesla taught us if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And I am here to tell you that everything that you want in life is in a higher vibration. So for you to receive that, you need to up level your vibration. And one of the easiest ways to think of a vibration or a frequency is a feeling. You will always know where you're vibrating at by how you feel. So if you're feeling frustrated, angry, depressed, anxious, lonely, sad, those are all low vibrating emotions. I'm not going to say they're bad emotions because I truly believe that no emotion is good or bad or right or wrong. But they are, the fact of the matter is that they've been measured. You can look up a graph of the vibrations and frequencies of emotions, and you can see it right there. They vibrate at a low frequency. Peace, joy, love, wealth, gratitude, satisfaction, joy, all these high vibrating emotions, or all these emotions that feel good, vibrate at a higher level. Now, it doesn't mean that they're good emotions. We probably would want to say that because we like them much better than the lower vibrations emotions because they feel better in your body. Your body feels better. And that's a whole nother topic even in and of itself because your body actually feels good at what it's used to. So, side tangent here. If you are someone who is used to feeling sad, lonely, depressed, anxious, overwhelmed, frustrated, whatever that is what is actually going to feel more comfortable in your body. Isn't that crazy? And when you are around someone or move into a situation where there is peace and there's joy and there is love and there is laughter and satisfaction and contentment, it's actually going to feel, it might not feel bad, but it will probably feel uncomfortable in a way because you're not used to that emotion. It's different than what your body is used to vibrating at. And so it's going to be uncomfortable for a while. And this is like, if you think of, a lot of people, their New Year's goals and resolutions are to lose weight or to start an exercise program. So if you have been here so many times where it's like if when you go from eating a lot of junk food or maybe a lot of sugar and then you try and start eating healthy, it's actually uncomfortable in your body for a while, right? And you really, really crave the sweets and the treats and the snacks and stuff. And so there's that level of discomfort, and a lot we call it like a detox in a lot of the way that we we look at things. And it doesn't mean that now what you're eating is bad for you. It's actually really, really good for you, but it's uncomfortable because it's not what you're used to. And it's the same thing when it comes to vibrations and frequencies. So bottom line is if you are someone that is comfortable in any of these low vibrations, whether that's anxiety or depression or overwhelm or scarcity or lack or sadness or loneliness, it's going to feel uncomfortable as you move into a higher vibration. And you won't be able to sustain it for very long. But the more that you do that, the more that you get into that higher vibration, the easier it becomes to sustain it. So I think of it in terms of like, like a meter that goes up and down. So maybe you rise and you're like, oh yeah, I'm holding it. Maybe say it's like 700 or whatever, right? I'm holding that 700 and then like, I can't hold it anymore. And you drop down. It's like when you're trying to lift a heavier weight or something like that, right? Like maybe you get 1 or 2 reps in of squatting, 50 pounds or whatever. And you're like, yeah, I did it. And you did it once or twice, but then you try to do it for a third rep and you're like, I can't do this anymore. And it suddenly becomes really heavy and really hard. But then the next time you do it, maybe you can go ahead and squat 3 or 4 at that weight without it feeling too challenging. And then you gradually move up. And it's the same thing when we're learning to vibrate at a higher emotion. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel uncomfortable. And it's so interesting. I've had opportunities in my life where I've had the opportunity to, or been assigned for whatever reason to work with people and be around people, not in like a coach capacity where I can like literally, call them out and tell them what they need to do, but in more just like a friendship capacity. And I want to try and help them. I want to help them up level their vibration and be in this happier, higher state that I think feels so good. And I had to realize, oh, they don't want that. That's actually really uncomfortable for them right now. And they actually feel more comfortable staying exactly where they're at. So my job is just to learn to love them where they're at. And that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But bottom line is that I'm trying to point out here, if you want a better life, if you want more wealth, more loving relationships, more alignment, more just amazing things happening to you and the experiences that you want, and that looks different for everybody, right? But whatever you're wanting, it's in a higher vibration, and it's going to require you to up level your vibration. So the most important piece here is recognizing where you're at, starting where you're at, and then just moving up little by little. Again, I love to use the analogy of exercise and weights because it makes so much sense to our brains. At least it does for me because I love to exercise. So I'm pretty sure that almost anybody that would be listening to this would have experienced exercising at some time or way in form or another. So if you had a goal of going to or running a marathon, or even let's say just running a 10K might be more applicable, um, but you've never really run before, you're not going to go out and run 10 kilometers the first day, right? You're going to start with some kind of a regimen that is like, hey, today you're just going to walk and you're just going to get really comfortable with walking 3 miles. And then you're going to start, I remember when I used to run, it would be like, okay, I'm just going to run to that lamppost and then I'm going to walk a little bit and then I'm going to run to the next lamppost and then I'm going to walk a little bit. And you have these short goals, right? And this is exactly the same when we're looking at up leveling our vibration. You just want to do it in short amounts each day, each time, and just little by little, it's going your comfort level is going to increase and you're going to be able to sustain that vibration for longer. Now, as you've heard me share before, I believe it's episode number 2 where I talk about this in depth. Music is going to be one of the easiest ways for you to up level your vibration because we almost everybody, even like the people that I know that are more challenged in that okay, how is a good way to put this? Even the people I know that tend to live in a lower vibration just because of what's comfortable and what they know, they experience what it feels like when their favorite song comes on and all of a sudden they're just really happy and they're excited and it feels good, right? And then maybe another song comes on that they don't love as much and now they're not in that anymore. But we can all feel what that is like when just a really great song comes on and all of a sudden you're pumped up and you're dancing and you're singing and you're just life feels great all of a sudden, right? Again, if this is not familiar to you, go back to episode 2 where I talk about this in depth. Okay, I feel like I'm like blah, 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 around all over the place. Bringing this back into what it has to do with our goals. Whatever you're wanting in your life, you want it because you think it's going to bring you an emotion. We're always after an emotion, a feeling. So, people, if we're always after a feeling, then what if instead of focusing on the thing, we focus on the feeling behind the thing? And this is something that I do with my coach or with my clients in our coaching sessions. When they start working with me, we set intentions of what they want to receive through their work with me, through their time with me. And they'll almost always like give me a certain thing. Like, I want to achieve this. I want, this amount of money. I want this many clients. I want to feel this way with my relationships because I coach women that are wanting to not only have success in business, but really want to have success in all areas of their life. Because if we receive success and achieve success in business, but we do it at the expense of our relationships with our husbands or with our children, and we don't feel good how we're showing up as wives and mothers or in any other part of our life, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel the way that we want. Again, goes back to those feelings, right? So whenever someone is working with me and we have a specific goal in mind that they want to achieve, the very first thing I do is, okay, how will it feel when you achieve that goal? Get into your playful, your imagination state, your visualization. See yourself in that place. And how do you feel? For example, a client that I helped recently, she wanted to feel peaceful and confident. And it was so funny because as we went over, I think we had chose 3 goals for her while she was working with me. The result behind each one is she's like, when I have that, I'll feel peaceful and I'll feel confident. And so we're like, okay, what you are really after in life, what you really, really want is to feel peaceful and confident. So whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve in this next year, right now it's 2025. You might be listening to this, I don't know where this we might be in the future, but if you're listening to this later date, wherever you want to be this week, this month, this year, today, what is the feeling that you want to achieve? What is the feeling that you are after by achieving that result? And I promise if you will focus on that feeling, you will get either that result or something better. I promise. This is exactly what I do. This is how I can say that I always achieve my goals and my intentions, my desires. I don't hardly even call them goals anymore. I call them intentions and desires because I believe, and we'll go more into this when we talk about more about feminine energy. I believe that especially as women, we're meant to receive. And so, yes, we live in a physical world that requires physical action. I call that taking inspired action, but it's not this big, long to do list of all the things. It's getting into vibrational alignment with it, taking the 1 or 2 or maybe 3 or 4 inspired actions that are required in order to move it forward on the physical plane. But the most important part, the biggest work, the biggest effort that needs to take place here is you getting into vibrational alignment. So in the same instance with this client, where she wanted to feel peace and confidence. She had this goal. She wanted to make, a certain amount of money. She wanted to get her business. She wasn't even focusing on a certain amount of money. She just wanted to get her business off the ground. She'd been working on it or wanting to work into it for like 7 years now and hadn't done it. She had a mission. She had a desire. She had people that she wanted to help. She had a message she wants to share. And when she does that, she feels like she will feel peaceful and confident. So we said, okay, yes, we're still going to set these desires. We're still going to set these goals, these intentions of what the results that you want to achieve. But instead of talking specifically about that, let's talk about the peace and the confidence. What can you do to create more peace and more confidence in your life? How can you step into that vibration and that frequency? Now, again, like I said on podcast number 2, at the very beginning of all of this, music is the easiest and fastest way to do that. So creating playlists, have a peaceful playlist, have a confident playlist, combine the 2 of them together, get as much music on there as you can. And when I do this, I don't sit down and like start scrolling through like my playlist or my library or whatever. And I might get it started. Actually, I might, do like Google like songs that bring peace. And I might add, like 5 or 10 or 20 or whatever of those songs. But then just as you have this awareness, you'll start noticing when you listen to the radio or your music comes on or just wherever you're at where you hear music, oh, I'm feeling peaceful right now. Okay, what song is that? And really, really using this tool to help you to get into alignment. This is sound healing. This is if you've ever been to a sound bath, this is what happens at sound healing. The music comes to your body and literally your body begins to vibrate at the frequency of what it's healing. So you can do your own sound healing all day, every day by the music that you're listening to. Sing it. When you sing it, the music originates from inside of your body, the words, the sound, and your body always knows what it needs. And then the other really important piece of this is to dance to it. Move your body. And I'll do a whole nother episode about my experience with learning to dance and stepping into feminine energy through belly dancing and getting more in alignment with my body in this way. But dancing and specifically moving your hips. Okay. It cracks me up when I see women dancing. I do a couple of Zumba classes each week that I love, and most of the women in there are mostly moving their feet and their hands. And I'm like, ladies, that's good. It's better than nothing, and it's getting you a good workout probably. But if you will move your hips, you will see so many more benefits and so many more blessings. Because as women, our hips are where we hold our superpower to create life, to receive, to feel. And we'll go into the whole side of sexuality and everything and your sensuality another time as well. So many things to talk about, so many podcasts coming up. I can't wait to share everything with you guys. Um, but yes, the bottom line is moving your hips, dancing is going to be a beautiful, beautiful way to get your body into alignment with this vibration because now you're moving your body. And what happens when all of this energy is coming in, and especially when you're moving your body, is it's kind of like a snow globe that's been stuck and been just sitting there. And then a little 2-year-old comes along and shake, 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 and watches the snow come up and blah, 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 and it just settles in. And this is what literally happens in your body is that the energy when you move, when you're receiving the music, when you're singing the music, when you're breathing deeper, talk about like breath work, right? All of these pieces, the energy shifts and it like a snow globe, it shifts up and it moves around and your breath actually expels some of that energy that's been stuck and is not in alignment and it allows stuck energy that maybe was stuck in your hip. Maybe if you have a sore hip or a knee or shoulder or wherever it is, a headache even, doing movement will help to create more or to create change, just like a snow globe. I love that image. So that's my like easiest, quickest process to teach you to get into alignment with the feeling that you want to create. Find out what the feeling is. Create a playlist of music that embodies that feeling, sing and dance to it. And it's as simple as that. I'll share a really quick story of how this worked for me what very, very early on. So I use this all the time now, but really early on when I was first experimenting with this and wanted to see what this could be like. Um, it was it was the first year in my business with doing some coaching and everything. And I was 40 years old. My birthday's at the end of the month in December or end of the year in December. And I had a goal of creating $40,000 this first year of my business while I was 40. So 40,000 while I was 40. And it was the beginning of December. And I had done really well, but we were still a few $1,000s short. I think like $2,000 or $3,000 short. And I knew that I wanted to bring in this money and I wanted to do it in a feminine way. And I didn't know, like, I had done the actions that I felt like I could do to do that, and nothing had happened yet. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to try the whole like music and dancing and frequency thing. And I wrote a song, and the song went like this. There's a whole bunch of money coming my way. There's a whole bunch of money coming today. There's a whole bunch of money, money that's coming my way today. And then I just repeated it over and over and over. And I still will sing that sometimes just because it feels so silly. It feels so childlike. It feels so playful. And I dance and I shimmy and I play and like I just kind of sing along. So this first time I did it, so again, I still use it all the time, but this first time I did it, I sang it a few times. I laughed because it was silly, and I went home and did whatever we were doing that evening. And the next day, I was teaching a small class with women, and after the class, one of the women literally on her way out the door, handed me an envelope and said, "I'm ready to join the class." And I was like, "What?" And she just like handed it to me and walked out the door. And I was like, okay. So I waited till everybody else left and then I opened the envelope and there was $1,500 in it. 14 $100 bills and then some 20s, 5s, 10s, ones to make up the $1,500 that this next course was that I had talked to her about previously. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll think about it," and had really never given me an answer or anything. And so just out of the blue, she hands me the full payment for the full thing, $1,500. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, it works, it works, it works, it works." And this was my first experience with understanding how vibration and frequency works. And I've done it since then over and over and over, even use it to bring in, oh man, multiple $20,000 deals with new clients that I'll get to help and serve and just feel so, so, so good. And doing it now, I say doing it in the easiest way possible. It requires work. It requires effort. It required, like, before all of these, I had to go through kind of this, like, almost this shedding of that I call swamping. We'll talk about that another time. But this letting go of all the emotions that I had around it, all the emotions of what if it doesn't happen and why isn't it happening yet and blah blah blah, all these things, right? Again, that whole process involves music and movement, moving the energy so that I can release the old stuck energy and move into the high vibration aligned energy that I want to be in. So, what I want to invite you to do is either for the new year or any other time when you have a desire that you want to receive, a goal that you want to set, if that is your language, get become aware of the vibration and the frequency. Become aware of the emotion, the feeling. And if you will focus on creating more of that feeling in your life, you will receive that goal or better because you become a vibrational match to it. That is the feminine side. The masculine side is being aware of, okay, what are the actions? What are the actual physical actions that I need to take in order to do this? For example, if you're trying to lose weight, again, just using this because it's something that's very, very common and that most people understand at some point or another in their lives, you just listening to music that speaks of, maybe your vibration behind wanting to lose weight is you want to feel confident. Maybe it's that you want to feel satisfied with your body. You want to feel satisfaction. Now, just listening to music and dancing to music for 5 minutes a day that speaks about peace and satisfaction might not be everything you need to lose the weight that you wanting to lose in order to be healthy. So you're going to say, but that's a huge piece, right? Because you're getting to that vibrational alignment for it. And you are welcoming more situations and opportunities where you feel satisfaction and peace in your life. So you're going to put yourself in situations where you can feel satisfaction and peace. You're going to talk with people that when you talk with them, you feel satisfaction and peace. You're going to do the things that bring you satisfaction and peace. On the flip side, you're also going to do the physical things required, which might look like exercise, might look like having different eating habits, might look like going for walks, might look like, all these different things that we do that are the physical side, the action side, the masculine side, because it's not one or the other, it's both. We need the feminine and the masculine in order to really truly achieve and receive the lives that we want, the goals and the desires that we want. But most people have only been taught the masculine side. They've only been taught the do side, and they don't understand the feminine side of the receiving and understanding the energy, the vibration, the frequency, which now we know is the feelings and the emotions behind it all. So, talking a lot about this in my Facebook and Instagram groups. If you're listening to this currently, this is a big part of what I teach and how I teach it. So please hop on, please DM me or ask me questions if you have any questions about getting clarity around this. But I invite you to put it into practice. What have you got to lose? Really, would you be willing to give up an envelope of $1,500 or several clients at $20,000 just because this seems maybe too easy or doesn't really feel like it would actually do the thing? Test it out. Try it out. It works. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next podcast. And remember, you know how this ends. If you will simply move forward, taking those next steps, living in trust, up-leveling your vibration and your frequency, stepping into your feminine superpowers, you will receive the life that is meant for you. It's already there waiting for you. Your job is just to say yes and allow. See you later. Bye.